Hey everyone, back at you with a nice, quick, hopefully quite short plant care tip video. So, I'm at my plant station, aka my kitchen sink. Okay, see that? And I brought this beauty out of the greenhouse so that it could get some nice water. So, this is my Macodes Petola Sanderiana. It's a beautiful jewel orchid, as you can see. Let's zoom in on one of the leaves. I know a lot of you have asked questions about it or commented. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I know. It's beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite plants on earth. But this plant is not the easiest plant to grow. We've had our struggles, guys. This is actually the top of a plant that I originally had. I've cut it 3 times after it rotted on the stem. This plant loves to rot on the stem. Forget root rot. This plant will literally rot on the stem itself, okay? So, if you want to keep this plant happy, what I have learned, okay, at least in my environment, I live in Canada, so it's pretty dry in Ontario, okay? You know, winters are brutal, etc. So this plant, of course, is an indoor plant for sure. And number 2, this plant will require humidity from you. You've got to give this plant some form of humidity, okay? Now, you don't have to give it like 90% humidity or 80% or anything of the sort, but if you did give it 80% humidity, it'll be very happy with you, of course, right? Because you'll be replicating its natural habitat conditions, right? So this plant, though, gets about average somewhere between 75 and I would say 90% humidity from me, okay? Because like I said, it does grow in an indoor greenhouse that I have, not an IKEA cabinet. This actually grows in one of those, little greenhouses you can get on Amazon or the hardware store, one of the big ones, okay? You see, if you look through my videos, you can see the greenhouse, okay? It's like a 5-foot and change greenhouse in terms of height and size. So that's what this plant grows in, number 1. Number 2, it's very specific about the growing medium. It doesn't seem to like any other growing medium I've tried. And what it's growing in now is, you can see it actually. Let's see if you can get a good view there. Sphagnum moss bark, orchid bark, which has charcoal and perlite. I added a little more perlite to it and some potting soil. Regular, cheap potting soil. That's it. Nothing fancy. Okay. And that is what this plant likes. I repotted it into this pot in late winter because I just thought it was not looking its best. It looked like it was out of room, or it just wasn't happy. Because plants do tell you when they're not happy, guys. So I decided, yeah, it's trying to tell me it's not happy because you can see it started killing off its lower leaves. Doesn't have a disease, just started to kill them off. And it just wasn't looking robust. So I thought, okay, it looks like it's out of room because the pot it was in was basically a little pot, original, if you will, to what I had it in from the day I got it and repotted it. So I put it in this, what is that, like 3.5, 4-inch thereabouts pot. And it's really happy in there, really happy. If you look closely, I hope I can catch it, but if you look right there, you can see another shoot right there shooting up from the stem, okay? And you can see right here next to that, it shot up this new shoot right here. See that? That's a new stem that it grew under the soil. So this plant is starting to spread out. And I'm really, really happy about that. It's so cute. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, the trick to this plant is it has to have soil, some kind of soil mix, okay? That not only drains really well, but doesn't dry out drastically. Because this plant, do not allow it to dry out completely. If you do, you won't like it. And the plant's going to be very unhappy with you. This plant likes to stay consistently moist. Not wet, consistently moist. The medium that it's in has to hold moisture, but also drain really well and have really good air movement through it. So air has to flow through the medium that you put in this pot really well. And on top of it, okay, it needs soil mix that has good nutrition, I find. Okay, so that I have I don't know if you could see that. I see little blue specks there, guys. Look closely, you can see little blue. That's Miracle Grow, slow release fertilizer. That's in there with the plant. Okay, I just sprinkle a little bit on top because unlike other orchids, you do not want to be misting these leaves with anything, including fertilizer. My other orchids, I will mist their leaves with, actually it's right here. I will mist my other orchids with this. But jewel orchids do not appreciate having their leaves wet. And I try not to do that at all, right? So I do not mist this plant with fertilizer or water. But I will fertilize it at the soil level. Okay, so every time I water like I just did, you can see it's pretty moist because I just watered it. It gets a little fertilizer from the slow release pellets that are in there. Sometimes I will give it a little boost with just a very weak dose of Miracle Grow liquid all-purpose fertilizer. Okay, what else? This plant grows in a medium light situation. You don't want to stick this in hot sun or under the brightest grow light you've got, keep it away from directly under the grow light. Okay, this kind of grows in the bushes, if you will, with my other plant. I let other plants shade it out a little, and it absolutely loves that treatment. Okay, so from what I'm seeing, this plant loves a bit of shade, just a bit, not a ton, but enough so that it's not burning or anything of the sort. What else does this plant love? Air circulation, guys. If you're going to have this plant, I suggest you give it a circulation fan nearby. This plant gets a constant gentle breeze all day, every day, morning, noon, and night. Okay. And it loves it. What else can I tell you about the Macodes Petola Sanderiana? The leaves are very they're luxurious. I mean, look at that. Okay, the lighting in my kitchen is terrible, but this plant, okay, let's see if I can take it into brighter light for you guys. Okay, look at that. You see that? Yeah. This plant has the most luxurious leaves. Okay, I mean, they feel and look velvety. They really do feel like velvet material. Okay, and they glow. As you can see, the veins are neon green, intense gold and bronze. And you can see at the edge of the leaves, all the way around, it's got a little white frill. Like, it is an extraordinarily beautiful plant. Now, I find other jewel orchids I've got, they're easier to grow than this one. Because I've got like a Ludesia Spider-Man. Pretty easy, in my opinion. Very easy actually. But this one is a bit demanding. But look at those. Look at those leaves. Doesn't it take your breath away? So yeah, guys, that's all I'm going to say about this plant. Oh, I forgot. Let's go back to my plant location, guys. Yeah, there we go. Let's put it on the... Wait. Yep. I water this beauty with distilled water because I feel like this plant does not like chemicals. It just doesn't. It doesn't thrive when you give it just pure old tap water. Unless, of course, you have the most amazing tap water ever. I don't. My tap water's got enough chlorine and chloramines and whatever. Who knows what's in there. But, yeah. I've always given this plant nothing but distilled water. So I think that's my last tip. Other than that, guys, yeah, it's a great plant to own, great plant to grow. It will challenge you most likely. It will rot on you extremely fast because I don't know if you're noticing the stems on this plant. They're very, what was the word? Succulent. So any sort of retention of moisture on the stem will result in stem rot, and any retention of water for too long on the roots, because these roots are the roots are really cool. They're really fleshy. almost like the stem itself, and very hairy, very fuzzy. So they do not appreciate sitting in any kind of water for long. Okay, so that's a trick. Make sure your soil is airy, just like mine. You see it's pretty chunky, but there's enough soil mixed into there to give it some hold, as well as the sphagnum moss, right? Because sphagnum moss holds moisture, but it also breathes. Now, it's taking forever, as you can see, to drop the old leaves. These are the original leaves from the cuttings I did from when I rotted the original plant. They're still on there. They're just slowly, like painfully, slowly, like months of slowness, turning yellow. And I just leave them alone. I technically, I guess I could remove the ones at the bottom, especially to give this new shoot some more room, but I don't. I just leave it alone, guys. I just leave it alone. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. Bye.